Open up any bill from a doctor or hospital, and it can feel like you need a super secret decoder ring.
They're really delivered in these numerical and sometimes alphanumerical codes and code sets that are incredibly complicated and really don't give you a lot of information.
Rebecca Palm, who helped found a company called CoPatient, says lost in all those codes and unfamiliar terms can be charges you may not owe.
Well, we find opportunities for people to save on about 80% of the medical billing cases that they submit to us.
She says CoPatient can help. If you submit a bill to them, they'll review it for free.
They get a free analysis, and then they get an audit report back from CoPatient that lets them know if we think we can save them money.
And if they find potential savings, experts like Helena Bish will argue your case.
And we know, when a provider says, no, we can't do that, I know, yes, you can.
If they save you money, they keep 1/3 of the savings, which could be substantial. The average savings is 25 to 50% of the total bill. You owe nothing if there is no savings. Errors are most common when you see multiple providers, such as an ER visit or inpatient surgery. Bish says always ask for a detailed bill in those cases, because Palm says we already pay plenty for health care.
There really is no need to pay more than what you really owe on that set of bills.
One of the pilots has been responsive.
Trouble in the sky.
Plane all of a sudden started descending pretty quickly, and no one really thought anything of it at first.
A pilot on a flight from Phoenix to Boston dies in the cockpit.
We were going down too rapidly, and then a few minutes later the co-pilot apparently come on and said that we were making an emergency landing due to the captain's illness.
The co-pilot took control and safely landed the American Airlines plane in Syracuse, New York.
If it wasn't for the co-pilot using a cool head, it might have been more disastrous.
Thank God for him, too, by the way, because I don't know what would have happened.
Emergency crews were waiting on the runway.
All we saw was the fire trucks, the EMS, everything out there, and we're like, well, we thought it was just sick.
All 154 passengers got off the plane and first responders rushed on.
They put tarps up so we couldn't see anything out the windows. The cops evacuated everybody away from the windows.
Tonight, the airline is not confirming how 57-year-old Michael Johnston died, saying only he was ill. But the pilot's wife says he's had a heart attack before, and she believes it happened again.
At the end, we were all shocked and wow, didn't know him, but put our life in his hands, and now he's gone.
In national headlines tonight, for the first time since last week's mass shooting, Umpqua Community College in Oregon has reopened. Classes aren't in session yet. Students are being let in to pick up belongings left behind and get counseling. Law enforcement's also on hand. Meantime, we're hearing for the first time from one of the students inside the classroom who survived because she played dead.
He told the professor to get down on the ground as well. So he was trying to crawl down to the ground with us. And he shot the professor, and then he just started shooting everybody on the ground. And then that's when I knew that, this is it. I'm probably going to die. I probably won't see my kids anymore. I probably won't see anybody anymore.
Over the weekend, military veteran Chris Mines thanked well-wishers from his hospital bed. He was shot several times trying to stop the shooter. A White House petition is circulating right now asking President Obama to award him the Medal of Freedom.
The U.S. Coast Guard says it has found the remains of at least one person during their search for the missing El Faro cargo ship. The Coast Guard believes the container ship sank with 33 people on board near the Bahamas last week as Hurricane Joaquin passed over that area.
We know we recovered the El Faro's life ring. We also recovered a lifeboat that had the markings of El Faro on it. It was heavily damaged, but it was recovered, no signs of life there.
The Coast Guard says it is no longer searching for the ship, but now focusing on any signs of survivors. The El Faro was carrying 28 Americans and 5 Polish nationals to Puerto Rico when it vanished.
At least 9 people are dead after devastating storms hit South Carolina over the weekend. Officials are calling this a 1-in-1,000-year rainfall. Some parts of the state were hit with 25 inches of rain. Hundreds of roads and bridges are closed because of flooding as hundreds of National Guardsmen and air water rescue teams scramble to pull people from the rising waters. Nearly 40,000 people are still without water and power.